Short story by Paul McCann, Bobo's School Days. It was Bobo and Charlie's last year at school, and all the teachers often reminded them to be mindful of the importance of their role as big boys at school, and that should project some sort of mature model of support for all the younger students at school. So Bobo had come up with some ideas on how they could be recognised, as well as being approachable by the younger students at the school. One of the ideas he thought of was to become more visible for others around the school, and so he had two badges made for Charlie and himself with the words Team Leader engraved under their name. This gave both of them instant kudos and pride in what they were trying to do. Bobo would often intervene to prevent fights and ask Charlie to make some notes about any incidences that he noticed around the school. One cold morning, as Charlie walked around the school with his notepad and pen, he saw a group of students standing around in a circle outside the front office. So he went over to see what was going on. As Charlie walked over to the students, they seemed worried about something. Charlie called out, "Hey, what's the problem, lads?" "No problem," replied one of the boys who was holding a football in his hand. Another boy added, "We don't have any problem," followed by another, "Yeah, everything's cool." Charlie noticed some broken glass on the ground, and then he saw a broken window beside the front office. Charlie made some more notes in his notepad, and he began to walk around on a warpath, looking at each of the boys in turn, and then pointing to the broken window and some of the glass lying on the ground, and said, "I'm Charlie. I'm a team leader here at the school, and it's my job to keep an eye on the things, so tell me who broke the window." One of the smaller boys replied, "Well, nobody knows. We just saw it like that. Same as you did." Another boy said, "Yeah, that's right. We all got to school a few minutes ago and saw front office window broken." Another boy said, "It's just about someone ask my friends at school if they saw anything." Okay, calm down. Listen, I want you now, one by one, get behind me. I'm walking a straight line. Follow me. Charlie marched off to the other side of the school, calling out, "Left, right, left. We'll get to the bottom of this in a few minutes." Then he saw Bobo, who was on duty near the woodwork rooms. And Bobo saw Charlie marching up towards him, swinging his arms and calling out, "Left, right, left." Bobo was intrigued, and as Charlie approached, he said, "You all right, Charlie?" "It's these boys behind me, Bobo." Bobo smiled and he replied, "What boys, Charlie? There's nobody there." Charlie spun around and saw he was alone. "If I get my hands on them, Bobo, I know one of them did it." Bobo laughed and he said, "Calm down, Charlie. You remind me of that police show on TV. Suddenly the headmaster appeared on the scene, and he was wearing this awful glare of guilt on his face. He looked at Charlie and Bobo and he said, "Good morning, team leaders." "Is everything all right, sir?" Bobo asked. The headmaster looked and replied, "Well, not a great start to the day. The window cleaner decided to throw in the job, and in the process he threw his words of wrath towards one of the teaching staff, who had made some comment on streaks on the window that he had just cleaned. One thing led to another. The teacher threw a blackboard duster. Unfortunately, it missed its target and smashed the front office window, which resulted in a fist fight, may I add, between the casual teacher and the window cleaner. Now, I'm caught up in conflict resolution this morning. So much to do." The headmaster walked away in a hurry. So what were you saying there, Charlie? What did these boys do? Charlie was stunned. Well, the thing is, I thought they were like the culprits who broke the window, Bobo. So what have you learned, Charlie? Like, what do you mean, Bobo? Bobo smiled and he said, Charlie, I think maybe you need to stop being so suspicious of other people. Maybe you need proof before you start to accuse people of what they have or haven't done. You don't prosecute those who might be innocent. Charlie ripped out one of the pages in his notepad and he said, you know what? You're dead right, Bobo. We all need to stick together at school. That's why it's so cool being a team leader. Bobo said, Alrighty, a lot's happened today. Now let's keep our eyes open, Charlie. Maybe we'll both patrol the playground for a while. And as they came near the playground, the noise of shattering and screaming of children at play was thick in the air. Somebody kicked the football high up into the air and everyone joined in trying to catch it. And whoever did immediately returned the ball up with another kick in the air again. There must have been at least 200 boys playing this crazy all-in mixed-up free-for-all game where anything goes. Whoever got the ball, get rid of it just as quick, because if you didn't, you'd get tackled to the ground big time. Charlie laughed and he said, Hey, remember the day Ginger Nesbitt hung on to the ball too long and he was tackled by the mob? Bobo laughed. Yeah, it's a pity about Ginger. He should have got rid of the ball quicker, but instead he was hit by 25 tackles. He had a nosebleed, a cauliflower ear and a torn shirt and dirt all over him before they carried him off the field. They both laughed and Charlie said, Hey, let's join in. Bobo, what do you think? Okay, well, you Charlie, said Bobo. The two of them disappeared into the crowd and shortly afterwards the whistle blew for assembly. Nobody wins in one-touch football. After the assembly, Bobo and Charlie made their way to the school library. I think library days are brill, don't you, Bobo? The librarian scowled at Charlie and pointed to the sign on the desk, which read, Please keep silent. But in very small writing underneath, someone had written the words, Only on weekends. Bobo was looking at an article on a computer screen while Charlie was looking out the window. Every now and then Charlie would say something as Bobo tried to study. Charlie was bored and he was fidgeting and wanting to leave the library. Hey Bobo, looks like a school library's got 10 computers and lots of posters everywhere. Bobo replied with a friendly word. Oh yeah, it does. Charlie continued. Bobo, you know how we're leaving school soon. Well, I was thinking about maybe see Mrs. T over there, the librarian. I was thinking of giving her an apple to thank her for all the times over the years when she helped me with all the projects and stuff. Yeah, that's nice, Bobo said in a friendly tone. Hey, Bobo, they say that an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Bobo smiled at Charlie and he said, Yeah, no, that's just what we all need. Charlie continued, You know what, Bobo, maybe I could get her a bunch of flowers for her, like, that would leave a lasting impression. Meanwhile, Mrs. T was writing on the whiteboard, Silence in the library. And while she was doing so, she shouted, Charlie, you can leave the library now. Mrs. T sent him outside for 10 minutes. But while Charlie was out there, he kept looking through the window and making funny faces now and then, which made all the people laugh. Bobo tried to keep himself from bursting out in fits of giggles, so he had to get up and leave the library. And as soon as Bobo went outside the library, Charlie said, You know what? I've changed my mind, Bobo. She's not getting an apple or any flowers. They both burst out laughing, and Bobo said, Charlie, she's not that bad. I mean, it might take a little bit of, compromise and make a lasting impression on her. Maybe you could give her the bunch of flowers. Charlie said, Do you really think it would make a lasting impression, Bobo? Suddenly the door of the library swung open and Mrs. T escorted a student by his sideburns from the classroom. As she marched him along the corridor towards the headmaster's office, the student was protesting and screaming all of the way. Charlie and Bobo had a good laugh, and they made their way to the playground for lunch. Outside the playground, Bobo noticed someone had hoisted up a ladder tied to the ropes on the flagpole. All of the other students were now spilling out onto the playground for their lunch. Some of the students were pointing up at the school roof. There was a man up there. It was a window cleaner, and he was throwing paper planes all over the school grounds. As everyone watched on the headmaster walking through with his hair blowing in the wind and marching at double speed, he had this megaphone in his hand, trying to talk some sense into the window cleaner, who was still very upset about the comments that was made earlier on in the day by one of the teachers about the window with streaks. There comes a time when things need to be done, and Bobo could see that it was time for something to happen when he could play the school leader's role and show everyone some skills in problem solving. So Bobo looked at Charlie and he said, "Okay, Charlie, it's up to us now. We are the team leaders and we're going to resolve this issue." Charlie nodded his head and replied, "That sounds great. Now, I've no idea what you're going to do, but I'm right behind you, Bobo." "Oh, thanks, Charlie. Let's strike while the iron's hot," they say. Bobo made his way to the school building and he said, "Just follow me, Charlie, and don't ask any questions." Charlie replied, "What are we going to do?" "What did I just tell you, Charlie?" said Bobo. "Not to ask questions." "Okay, let's go." "Now, listen, Charlie. You know when we used to play handball against the bus depot wall and sometimes the ball would end up on the roof?" Charlie interrupted. "That's right, Bobo. And one of us would climb up a down pipe to the roof and get back a ball." "Well, the only difference here is we're not getting a ball. We're getting a window cleaner. Get it?" "Got it," Charlie replied. The two lads climbed up the down pipe and they scrambled up onto the roof where they spoke to the window cleaner. Charlie said, "Now you have to come down." "Leave it to me. Leave it to me, Charlie. Listen, we're here to make a deal." The window cleaner looked. "The only deal I want is an apology from that excuse of a teacher." "No problem, Charlie. Stay here. I'm going to go and talk to the headmaster." Bobo united himself with empathy towards the window cleaner, who was still obviously a little bit upset about what had happened earlier in the day. And Bobo untied the extension ladder from the flagpole rope, sending the ladder crashing to the ground. And then he made his way back down to the ground himself, where he made a story up that the window cleaner was going to jump from the roof unless the teacher who insulted him apologised. Well, in no time at all, the teacher involved took the megaphone and he made a public apology to the window cleaner. And at the end of the day, well, everyone was happy. And Bobo and Charlie, well, they'd been acknowledged as heroes for their courageous problem-solving intervention. The end.